This is the last time you guys will see the STI like this because we are done with stock location stuff. We are finally going to be going rotated, and today is the first part of this series. We are going to start disassembling the entire car. So a lot of the things in this engine bay are going to drastically change. If you guys like this video and are excited for this, make sure to leave a like and make sure you stay till the end of the video because we're going to have a little teaser, hint, hint. Man, I'm so excited. Let's get this started. And in case you're wondering why we're getting rid of the upper turbo coolant reservoir, is because our precision turbo is not water cooled. It is just oil lubricated. And I believe that all precision turbos come like that. So it's also going to be interesting trying to get the new configuration done for the radiator because we're not going to need these lines. And like I said, a lot of things are going to change. Next up is pretty standard stuff that I've done a million times. So we're going to be doing a time lapse through it. Remove the front mount intercooler piping on both sides. We're going to remove the blow-off valve, the map sensor, the throttle body. We're going to lift the intake manifold off because now I need to go ahead and do extra work and remove the puddle of coolant that is right here on the heads, right by the TGVs, unfortunately. And then we'll go on to remove the intake, turbo inlet, and the rest of the stuff. You guys have seen the removal of that all the time, so I figured it wasn't a big deal. Now we're going to actually end up removing one of my favorite pieces of the engine bay because it was a very nice accent, which is the turbo inlet. I'm gonna be sad to see that thing go, but it is what it is. And I feel like once you actually go rotated, things become easier to work on because obviously we're deleting more parts, so they become more accessible. I am not gonna miss having to deal with any of this crap, especially that bolt all the way down here that secures the front mount to the frame rail over there. Things are normal to deal with. This thing can go off to the side and we're out. I'm gonna be pulling off the TGV fuel rail and injector assembly. I just wanna be able to clean the lake that formed down there when we pulled off the coolant reservoir, as well as clean up the block again. There's a little bit of trash and I'm kind of OCD like that. Here's our progress so far. We've removed everything we need topside. Everything is now accessible because we're gonna be deleting a lot of coolant hoses and rerouting things like I previously mentioned, but I'll save that for another video. Now, we still need to remove the turbo here, our BCP 500 Plus. That did a great job, but unfortunately it's time for this guy to go. So we're gonna have to pull the downpipe off. I will not show you guys that on video because I've already covered that so many times on this channel, but I will catch up with you guys once we get the downpipe off and then we'll get this guy off. Didn't take too long. Now we're gonna pull off the turbo. So I'm gonna start by pulling off the lines for the wastegate and the compressor on the actual turbo. And like with anything guys, right now we're making pretty good time. If you go back and watch my first couple videos here on YouTube, I was doing stuff super slow. But like with anything, the more you do it, the better you become and the faster you get. So now we pulled the vacuum lines off. I'm going to go ahead and remove our oil feed line because that's going to be the next thing up. And then I think there's only 3 bolts holding this thing down if I remember correctly, plus the coolant line that we're no longer going to need. I'm telling you guys, we're going to get rid of so much stuff. It's going to be awesome because it's going to make servicing the car a lot easier. Surprisingly, it wasn't a complete disaster like I was expecting. Pretty clean line. Now we're gonna remove our coolant lines. There's gonna be 2 of them, one here and then one down below that you guys are not gonna probably be able to see. But that's also gonna be another thing that I'm excited why I ended up choosing a precision turbo, because less points of failure, less things you have to worry about. If you guys work on Subarus a lot, really do recommend these set of pliers that I'm currently using right now. These are IG hose clamp pliers. I can't even tell you how easy it's made my life ever since I got them. And now, oh my God, thank you very much. My girlfriend comes in to rush and help. And if you're wondering what I'm using to plug up these coolant lines, I got these pretty much powder coating plugs I found out about maybe 2-3 years ago. Super helpful, got them on Amazon, and they do the job. And that right there is why you plug up your cylinder ports, because coolant had landed right over my little painter's tape that completely prevented that from going in, which was really nice. Oh, there's one. All right, we got the second to last nut. The last nut is sitting, I believe it sits right underneath where the oil feed line would go, which is why you need to remove that braided, at least in my case, it's braided, the oil feed line, or else you're gonna have a hell of a time, because it's not gonna be accessible. All right, I can see the turbo now bouncing up and down. It's jumping for joy as we're about to remove it, and it's gonna find its new owner here shortly, hopefully, because that thing is for sale. the oil drain line that needs to get removed. Caught me off guard. Okay, turbo is now out, but the last coolant line we need to plug up is down there. I'm gonna hope that I can get this without having coolant enter the up pipe. I mean, we're not reusing any of this crap anyway, but I just don't want coolant to spill all over the place. I'm trying to do 3 things with 2 hands, but I think I got it. All right, that thing's plugged up. That thing's gonna be right there. Let's see, can I angle this out without spilling coolant? I can. Hard to see on camera, but that little coolant port down there is definitely full of water. This is it. This is a BCP turbo. Now for the really fun part is the up pipe. And I say fun because if you have the OEM configuration, you know this bracket, that bolt that secures to the bell housing here on this side is gonna be a pain in the ass. But because I'm lazy and I didn't do it the last couple times we've been messing with the car, I just have to worry about these nuts securing this bracket and this other support bracket onto the up pipe. And for those of you wondering, yes, you do need that bracket because if you don't have that bracket, you're gonna potentially crack the up pipe and you're gonna have an exhaust leak and you're gonna have a good time. So we're gonna keep doing this and it's gonna be really, really simple because we're getting very close to now mocking everything up, which I myself am very excited for. We are so close. Because the new up pipe has its own little bracket kind of thing going on. Boom, left side, the thing's gonna go in the trash. Or actually, I guess I'll save it. Always a good idea to save old hardware, so that way you don't have to buy more. Man, look at that, headache free. That bracket's gone. This is the one I was talking about. That bolt that usually goes there, holy crap, that's a pain in the ass. Now it's time to go underneath the car and get the headers and up pipe out of here. And we are getting super close, super close. Front O2 sensor off the headers is now gonna get out of here. This is our front oxygen sensor. This thing goes into the headers, like I was saying. We have a bung, I believe, on the new headers, which unfortunately, surprise, surprise, we're actually gonna be swapping to equal length headers, which is gonna be interesting. I'm definitely gonna record the first start without equal length headers, or sorry, without the unequal length headers, because I'm gonna miss them. Definitely gonna miss the Subaru Rumble, which is why I actually bought this car to begin with, or why I wanted a STI in the first place. And we're also not gonna be needing any of this hardware anymore because all my stuff is V-band, which if you don't know, is essentially 2 flanges put together and you mate them with the clamp. Looks like my up pipe doesn't wanna go anywhere. We've tried, so we're gonna keep going and remove the headers. We have to remove the ground straps, 1 on each side. I am on the passenger side right now. They're held on to this heat shield by a 12mm bolt. And then we gotta remove the 3, I believe, 14mm nuts on the headers to the heads, and we're gonna get out of here. We finished out what we needed to do today, and that's gonna wrap it up. I'm really just kidding. I wanna see this turbo get put on the car, at least mocked up with the new headers and the up pipe, because I'll tell you guys right now, I bought this kit used as always, but this came off of a 2008 STI, which should be the same configuration because obviously it's the same engine, but fingers crossed, everything at least works out for the headers, the up pipe, and the turbo. It's gonna be very cool. There it is. There is the Precision Next Gen 6870 sitting in the engine bay. I can't believe it. We've talked about it for so long and it's finally here. It's just loosely mocked up. I just moved the AOS off the strut tower on the passenger side. We still have a lot of work to do, but that's gonna be for another video. I still have to go back and help my friend Chris out with his 2007 STI that we're currently rebuilding, which I will be going into further detail on the next video. So if you guys are excited to see this build, see that 2007 STI get rebuilt, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe because you won't want to miss out. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one.